Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We are back today with another home gym video. In today's video, guys, I'm going to talk about some of the drawbacks of having a home gym, some of the things that I don't like about it. It impacts on training, on life, on all that kind of thing. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff about home gyms. I've had this home gym for, I think we're going on close to 3 years now. I believe I got everything in around 2020. So yeah, spring of 2020. So we're coming up on the 3-year mark. So definitely have lots of more thoughts and insights on how the home gym has impacted, my training and workouts and stuff overall within that time frame. So, and if you guys have other comments or things you want to add that I don't talk about, I definitely want to hear from you. Some things that you like, some things that you don't like about home gyms. Yeah, let me know that. Fire them off down below in the comments. So, the first thing, and we talked about this a little bit before, but just to expand on it a bit, I think the first thing that's most important is your motivation to train. That's the one thing that can be tough for a lot of people in a home gym setting. So I think some ways around this, and if you look at it this way, where you're kind of saving money with your home gym, right? Because you're not paying for a gym membership. Yeah, it's got to have, like, depending on how much stuff you get, like for me, I'm probably a 20, 30 year payoff if we're just looking strictly at the gym membership. But we're saving money in the long term, right? So if you look at it that way, I think a really good way to go about it in terms of motivation is to hire a coach. I think that's really, something that maybe gets overlooked, because the problem is, and one of the biggest things is, why we always say, like, before you consider getting a home gym, like, just work out by yourself, for a week. Just do a bunch of jumping jacks, run up and down, do push-ups or something. See if you can even get into it at all just by yourself, because some people, the gym, it's a social thing more so than a training thing, right? So I think hiring a coach or trainer or whatever, just someone else that's making the plan for you, that's saying, like, hey, like, you're doing XYZ on this day, on this day, this day, and this day. That takes a lot of the kind of, oh, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to do a workout when I get home? Am I not going to? Because more often than not, when you come home and, you see a million things to do, or, you want to do something else, or you've got family to see, it's very easy to be like, I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do a squat and bench day or something and make up for it, right? I've been guilty of it myself at times, for sure. But the way I like to do it is having a coach, having a program that's, kind of set in stone. I've really enjoyed messing around with the AI stuff. So if you do have one of those days where it's like, okay, there's just too much going on, or it just doesn't make sense to train right now, you can kind of program that into your thing. Or if you have a coach, the same idea, right? If it's just today's not the day, then you can figure out another time to work it in, and it's all still going to be like within the same program, right? So definitely some workarounds. And, some other things that we always talk about: lighting, music. I think having a TV is really beneficial, because then it becomes, like you don't start like flipping on your phone when you're bored. You can just have something on the TV, whether it's motivation or just something that you're interested in. It makes the space more kind of complete, and, an environment that you want to be in, right? So I think those are some big things. Is just, and I think it goes back to our first point, is the motivation to train. Is, yeah, it's huge. And the thing that makes it exciting too about a home gym is it's all stuff that you want, right? Like, it's all things that you're just getting for you. So yeah, I don't know, I got interested in making this video because I saw this post today, and it was like $5,000 on your home gym versus never having to experience this again. And it was just like a crowded gym with a bunch of stuff going on. And I don't know about you guys, but I hated that about the gym. When I was like in a rush or something, or I had like a really stressful kind of workout to do, if I was lifting like really heavy for me, whatever that was, and I couldn't get into my routine because some machines were being used, or like, I had to wait like 30 minutes to get in the squat rack, which was pretty rare. My gym I went to was in like a small town, but it did happen sometimes, and I hated that. It was so annoying. So being able to just be, the regimen is exactly how I want to make it, time in, time again, every single workout. So that's, that's a big benefit, and kind of what I wanted to talk about, some of the things that I didn't like in today's video. So The next thing is obviously the cost of stuff, right? Now, when I started this and I bought all this stuff in 2020, and I've gone back and I've recently re-looked up the price of everything that I have here, it's insane. It's, you know, when I got stuff in 2020, I was kind of worried that I was paying top dollar with it being COVID and, you know, inflation was just starting and steel prices and, you know, economy and shipping was more expensive and blah, blah, blah. Everything's worse now. Everything is worse now. So I wouldn't wait any longer at this point if you're waiting to pull the trigger on something, because you know, it might be, I'm not an economist, like I said in the last video, but it looks like nothing is going to change anytime soon. So I think at this point, you just got to bite the bullet for whatever stuff you're waiting on. Because some of the things that I have here have tripled. That's right, tripled in price. I looked up the cost of my Rogue weight plates over here, the machined Olympic ones. I'll show you. I'm sure you've seen them if you've watched the channel before. But I have 675 pounds of these. And I believed initially, shipped to my door, it was under $2,500. It was between like 22, 24, something like that, right? To do that today, $5,500. $5,500. Now, that might have been like a different shipping service or something like that, but I don't think it was. That was straight from the website. It was straight from Rogue, you know, Canada. And yes, a lot of this stuff has just, you know, gone through the roof in terms of pricing. So that's obviously a huge barrier to a lot of people. But I think the way around that is, you know, you have to look at it as like an investment in yourself, and it's an investment in your time, right? Yeah, an investment in your time, and, you know, you do get that payback eventually. So, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's like one of those things where, you know, does it really make sense to spend a lot of money now and save some later or whatever? But obviously the cost is going to be a huge drawback to most people from doing this. And then there's the space. Right now I'm kind of finding out as I get more stuff in my house, this is one of the major drawbacks of here. This basement area, it used to basically just be storage, right? Like there was stuff when I initially bought the place. The other lady that lived in here before, she had just junk just piled up to the ceiling here. But I mean, there's so much space down here. If I didn't have this gym, I would have a lot less clutter in my house, that's for sure. I could get a couple storage racks, which honestly I could still probably do now that I look around and I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it's a bit of a sacrifice, right? Because we're giving up storage space and, you know, maybe having a little workbench or a workshop in lieu of having the gym. So, you know, it takes up a lot of space too. So I think those are the biggest three things for me that I would say is motivation to train. I feel like that's number one almost, because if you don't have that, there's no reason of even looking at what stuff costs, like, right? Then number two is cost. Depends on your living situation and on you personally what you're okay with. Then number three is the space. Maybe you have, you know, a big basement like this that you can, you know, that you can use, but maybe you're in a studio apartment or a condo or something and it's just not feasible because of your space. So I think those are the three biggest kind of barriers to entry, I guess, in terms of a home gym. But you guys let me know. What do you think are the best things about a home gym, the worst things? And those of you that have home gyms, I know a lot of you guys watch the videos too. What would you say are the biggest drawbacks? The stuff that I mentioned was kind of obvious, but I wanted to talk about it and just give my take on it like 3 years later. But other stuff that that you find is, you know, kind of a pain, let me know that. Interested to know. Down below in the comments. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Catch you next one. Chicken in.